So welcome to this Hatha yoga and pranayama practice. So I'm quite excited here that we'll really be threading the theme of breath also through the movement part of the practice today. If you don't know me, I'm Irene, sharing different yoga, mindfulness and breathing practices. So let's roll out our mat and get started. So beginning in a seated position, finding a seated position of your choice and allowing the hands to rest on the thighs as you start to close the eyes. So just take a moment to tune in to how the body is right now. And for any breath work, it's really important to maintain that length through the entire spine. So you can be sinking the hips down, but lifting up out through the crown of the head. So chest is slightly lifting up as the shoulders drop down. And then just firstly noticing that you're breathing. And really taking that moment to check in first with your natural breath. So it's always a bit tricky, these breath inquiries, where you're really trying to observe the natural breath as it is without changing it. Often as we begin to observe the breath, we want to try to make it better, make it different. So just doing your best to observe the breath right now without modifying it in any way. So you can just notice qualities like how deep or shallow the breath is, how fast or slow. Noticing perhaps differences between your inhale and your exhale. Perhaps just these more subtle things like pauses at the top of the inhale, at the bottom of the exhale. And then just after these few kind of rounds of noticing the natural breath, you can allow your breath to deepen and lengthen. So you want that capacity of the breath to still feel comfortable, still have that feeling of ease as you actively lengthen and deepen each inhale and each exhale. And to really deepen that breath, you might start to feel the belly expand as you breathe in, and perhaps feeling the belly drawing back as you breathe out. With the chest might start to lift on the inhale, so really creating that space. And on the exhale, you might start to feel the chest drop back down. Allowing also as best as you can the inhale and exhale to become equal and balanced. And perhaps exploring these slight pauses between each breath, which really give you this feeling of ease, no rush to the breath. We'll just stay here another couple of rounds of breathing. So in a moment, we're going to start to move through our Hatha Yoga practice. And I really invite you, as we start to flow through this practice, to see if you can keep the breath your guide of the pace of the movement. So you can start to use the inhale to reach both arms up and over the head. And then on the exhale, drop your right hand down and reach the left arm over to the right side. Inhale, come back through the center. Now the right arm can lift, left hand can drop down. Exhaling over to the left side. And then just doing this a few times back and forth at your own tempo. So seeing if you can use that full exhale to lean to the side and that full inhale to lengthen and reset in the center. Exhale again, lean to the opposite side. Inhale to the middle and just continuing a couple more times from side to side. So really inviting you to not necessarily follow my pace, but follow the pace of your own breath. And then the next time that you lean over to that right side, you can really just pause here and really create that space through the left side of the torso. Inhale, come back through the center, and exhale, start to lean to the left side, pausing. This time, right side of your torso starts to lengthen with every breath. And then inhale, come back through the middle, both arms lift up, and exhale, lowering from here, both arms back down either side. From here, we're going to roll over onto our hands and knees. And if the knees are a little sensitive, feeling free to place something under the knees. And we're going to rock back and forth again using the breath. So on the exhale, you can sink the hips down towards the heels. So transitioning into a child's pose, head starts to drop. And on the inhale, come forward through the hands and knees. Exhaling, lowering down onto your belly here. Inhale, lifting up through the cobra back to the hands and knees. And exhale, sinking back down for your child's pose. Inhale, come through the hands and knees. Exhale, lower down onto the belly. Inhaling, transitioning through that cobra, really lengthen through the chest. And exhaling back to child's pose. And now you can just continue a few more times. Choosing to make those movements slightly bigger or slightly smaller. And we'll do one more fluid movement back and forth. And then the next time you sink the hips back, you can just pause here in your child's pose. So that it's comfortable, the forehead can be dropping down towards the ground. Your choice if you want to keep the elbows lifted or drop them down. Hips dropping back to your heels. Seeing if you can really tune into the breath in the back of the body, so feeling the lower back maybe expanding with your inhale, contracting on the exhale. And staying here 5 more rounds of breath. And then when you're ready, you can just use that next inhale to come again through the hands and knees and lower all the way down onto your belly. I'm going to just alternate a few times in and out of the cobra now. So hands under the shoulders, elbows nice and close. Inhale, lifting up for your cobra. And exhale, lower back down again. Inhaling cobra. Exhale to lower. Just doing this a few times. Seeing if you can keep the shoulders relatively relaxed. And then the next time you lift up to your cobra, pausing here, maybe allowing hands to hover. Again, if elbows start to spin out, just draw them closely back in towards the body. And keep allowing the spine to be long hair. And then from here, we press into the hands, move back through the hands and knees. And from the hands and knees now, we're going to step the right foot forward between the hands. So we'll come up to our Anjaneyasana asana. So you can reach the arms high on your inhale. Exhale, lower the fingertips down and start to shift the weight of the hips back. Option if you like to lift the right toes up. Inhale, coming forward. Arms can lift high if you like here. Exhaling, hands come down, shift the weight of the hips back. And again, moving back and forth. So taking that time to tune into your breath. And then the next time you come forward with the hips, you can just pause a moment here. Maybe lift the chest a little up, gazing perhaps up if that's comfortable for the neck. Exhaling, hands come down. And from here, coming back to your hands and knees. Rocking the hips slowly from side to side. And then from here, we'll change sides. So left foot steps between the hands. Ground through that left big toe, lifting up. On the inhale option, if you like to lift up also through the arms. Exhaling, hands come down as you shift the weight of the hips back. Feeling free to keep left knee a little bent if you need. Inhaling, coming forward. And exhale, drawing back. Again, just finding that rhythm. Seeing if you can allow each inhale and exhale still to keep that evenness and that equalness. Great. Doing this one more round. And then the next time you come forward, you can just pause here in your Anjaneyasana. Maybe leaning a little back, again gazing up, so creating again that space. Exhaling, hands come down and coming from here again to your hands and knees. From the hands and knees, we're going to transition now to downward dog. So you can tuck the toes under, lift the hips all the way up and back. And we're just moving through the downward dog. So walking the feet forward, knees staying as bent as you like here. Inhale, open the chest halfway up, hands can slide up the legs. And exhale, folding forward back over the legs. Inhale, lengthen through the chest. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, lengthen halfway up. Exhale, last time, folding forward. Inhale, now lift the arms high as you start to gaze up. And exhale, lower the hands down in front of the heart. So feet maybe hip distance, maybe slightly closer. Arms are going to come back up overhead on your inhale, taking hold of your left wrist. Lift up as you lengthen through the spine. And on the exhale, you can just start to lean a little to that right side. Inhale, come back through the center, change the hold of the wrists. Exhale, leaning to the left side. And then again, alternating a few times from side to side. I really like combining these side bends with pranayama and breathing, because you're really creating that space through the rib cage, allowing that spine to stay long. So when we come to sit, hopefully you'll find that there's a bit more space for that breath capacity. Great. So the next time you lean over to the right, you can just pause a moment here, maybe spin the chest up if you like. And then coming back on the inhale, change the hold of the wrists and exhale to the opposite side. Maybe spin the chest up, maybe gaze up. And then coming back through the center, lower both of the arms down. And at the same time, we'll start to fold forward, interlacing the fingers, arms coming over the head. So you can bend the knees a little here. Relax, particularly the head and the neck. As you maybe lean a little forward into the toes. Exhale, now dropping both hands down. Right foot stays forward, left foot steps all the way back. Left hand stays on the ground. Inhaling from here, twisting to the right and gazing up to that right hand. We'll do a few circles. So on the exhale, circling right arm all the way back. And inhaling, arms comes forward and up. Exhale, arm comes all the way back. Inhaling up. And doing this a couple more times, moving with your own breath. The next time that you reach that right arm up, you can just pause a little longer. Drop then your left knee down to the ground, right hand drops down. And from here, coming back through the hands and knees and lowering all the way down onto the belly. We'll do a couple of cobras. So inhale, lifting up towards your cobra pose. And exhale, lower down. Inhaling cobra. And exhale to lower. Inhaling cobra pose. Exhale, this time pressing back through the hands and knees and coming to sit low, child's pose. So perfect time now to focus in on your breathing. Allowing that breath to be at ease, be full. Staying here 2 more breaths. And then use the next inhale to come up through the hands and knees. Once more, transitioning downward dog. So tuck the toes, lift the hips nice and high on your inhale. Pausing here for 1 breath in and 1 breath out. Walk the feet forward on your next inhale. So coming forward to the front of the mat. Opening the chest halfway up, and on the exhale, start to fold forward. Inhale again, open the chest halfway up. Exhaling, folding back down. Inhaling halfway up. And exhale to fold. Inhale, now come all the way up to standing, reach the arms nice and high. And exhale, lowering the hands down. And from here, releasing the arms down. So you can again come either with the feet a little wider or together. And we're going to reach now the arms wide out to the side, palms facing up here. So you can slightly bend the elbows if you like. Maybe lift a little up through the chest. And then we're going to start to twist the spine to the right. So left arm comes forward, right arm back, gazing back to that right arm. Inhale, come back through the center. And then exhale, starting to twist to the opposite side. Inhaling to the middle. Exhale again, turning to the right. Inhale back through the center. And exhale to the left side. Again, do this a couple of times, moving from side to side. And then the next time you turn to the right, you can just pause a moment here, gazing back. And then coming back through the center, turning all the way to the left. Again, option to pause. And then back to the middle, reaching from here, both arms up. Exhale, fold forward over the legs. Again, you can interlace the fingers and reach the arms up and over the head. Placing the hands down in front, this time right foot steps back, left leg stays forward, right hand is on the ground, and from here twist to the left, reach that left arm up. We'll start to bring those circles, so on the exhale, draw the arm back, and inhaling, reaching the arm forward. Exhale, and inhale. Doing this a few more times. And then the next time you reach that left arm up, you can just pause a moment here. Exhale, right knee drops down, left hand drops down. From here, transition to your hands and knees and lower down onto the belly. Inhaling, lifting up to your cobra pose. Exhale to lower. Inhaling cobra and exhale lower. Inhaling once more. Exhaling back down and then pressing in through the hands and knees and coming once more back to your child's pose. Staying here 2 more breaths. And then you can use that next inhale to walk the hands a little closer, transitioning from here to a seated position. And then we're going to come straight from a seated position to lie on the back. So you can just roll down, hug the knees close to the chest, maybe rocking from side to side. And then bringing the soles of the feet about hip distance apart, arms alongside the body. Grounding through those big toes. Inhale, start to lift up through the hips. An option, if you like, to also reach the arms up and over the head. Exhale as you drop the hips back down, arms come again alongside the body. We'll do this a few times, so lifting up through the hips, allowing the whole back of the body to lift as the arms reach over. And exhale, slowly lowering back down. And again, repeating a couple more times with your breath. And one final time, lifting up, and this time you might start to bring the hands under the hips if you like. So elbows drawing down, hips lifting, or you could interlace the fingers as we pause here. And then exhale, slowly lowering the hips down, soles of the feet together, knees apart. Arms, if you like, holding the elbows and reaching over the head. You can just soften the eyes, drop the weight of the body down. And then from here, we're going to come to our pranayama practice. So if it feels comfortable, just rolling to one side and finding your way up to a seated position. And then you can just rest the hands on the thighs and once more close your eyes. We're coming to the Nadi Shodhana alternate nostril breathing pranayama. So you could be setting up with thumb close to your right nostril, ring finger close to the left. And for the first breath, you can just inhale through both nostrils and exhale. Now close the right nostril with your thumb, inhale left side. Closing the left side, exhale through right. Inhale right. And exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. And exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. Inhale right. Exhale left. Inhale left. Exhale right. So inviting you now to count. I'm going to do a count of 5, but choose a count that suits your breath capacity. So inhale right, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale left, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale left, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale right, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale right, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale left, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale left, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale right, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale right, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale left, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale left, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale right, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inviting you to do a few rounds at your own tempo now, without my guidance. Allowing as best as you can each breath to be smooth, even, and equal. And inviting you to do one more full round on your own. Finishing by exhaling through the right nostril. So really taking your time to finish that round. And once you are done, you can just rest the right hand back on the thighs and just take a few slow and steady breaths through both nostrils. So just allowing that natural breath to come back. And then when you're ready, you can just be once more opening the eyes, once more with a soft gaze, and coming back to your surroundings. So thanks for joining me through this Hatha Yoga and Pranayama practice. Do let me know in the comments how you got on and if you've got any questions. If you enjoyed the practice, give the video a thumbs up. Consider subscribing to the channel if you'd like to stay in touch with the other yoga, breathing and mindfulness practices on this channel. And I'll see you next time.